Guess I'll start recording too. Yo, what's good? I hope I hope everybody is good. I hope this is doing what it's supposed to do. I don't know. I don't know nothing. I just got inspired to try and do this because I had something on my mind. Essentially, yeah, I'll set this over here. Essentially, I've been contemplating today expectation. I have been in the pits of depression since late October. Yeah, since late October. I've been in the pits of depression, up and down, up and down, up and down. I find myself in an up right now, and I wanted to take for sort of full advantage of the energy and clarity that I have from what I've been experiencing. For those of you that don't know, my name is Alex. I am hoping to, I don't even know, do this, have talks, have deep talks, and even narrate some stuff sometimes. Like I'm currently reading Earthsea, A Wizard of Earthsea. And I think it would be dope to just have like a community that I can come to at the end of the day and kind of go live and share my thoughts and express some of my emotions about what I'm experiencing in life and the wisdom that I find in all these different places with all these different books from all these different people that I meet um, through just the experience of life. And maybe even help somebody who's like me, who is, feeling so down that they might feel like they have to destroy their connection to this body, to this experience. Um, and maybe I help show them that there's another way, or maybe I help myself see that there's another way. Cause there are there are it gets dark. It gets dark out here. So that's who I am. That's why I'm here. That's what uh, this is meant to be. I wanted to talk about expectation today because I have found myself for the last few days being downtrodden, disappointed, disillusioned, um, depressed, based out of my expectation of experiences, and my expectation of myself. First and foremost, I think expectation of myself. Um, and I don't want to say pushed past that, because I'm here still struggling with the shit. But I what I have found is that moving, ooh, how to word it, because words are so important, y'all. Words are tremendously important. They have power. They hold power. They inform our very being. I was watching a video called I was watching a video about Lord of the Rings. This guy, he's reading Lord of the Rings for the first time. The channel is called First Timers. And he's reading Lord of the Rings for the first time fully through. And he has live streams and stuff where he reads the book, and people are free to join and all that kind of stuff. But he was reading, and he was come upon this part in the Two Towers, I think, with Frodo, Sam, and Gollum. And Gollum, for an instant, is hesitating, taking Frodo and Sam up into Shelob's lair. They're on the stair napping, Frodo and Sam. And he looks at them, and he's all of a sudden just, he's not sure that he wants to do it anymore. He's not sure that it's even worth it. He might just want to end it all and let it all go. He's long past his years and he's just not sure. He don't know. Sam wakes up and sees him sort of longing to be something that he isn't anymore. And he's sort of petting Frodo's foot or something like that. And Sam wakes up and he says, "What are you doing, you old villain? Sneaking?" Some such like that. And Gollum arises out of Smeagol in that moment. Because Gollum is the villain. Smeagol had a chance. But words, you old villain. Fine, if that's how you see me, that's what I'll be. How often do we do that to ourselves? I know I do it to myself all the time. I am killing myself all the time. I don't wonder how I get to places where I'm calling the hotline because I've gone and done something, or am thinking very deeply about doing something that will hurt those around me and will, I think, alleviate myself of this torture that I'm putting myself through. Words are very important. And that brings me back to expectation. Because if I don't... What is expectation? What is expectation, y'all? What is expectation? I was driving, talking to my best friend and pondering this question. And I think I came to some clarity about it. Because I apologize, anybody who watches this live. Nobody's here now, I don't think. But I apologize for those watching this live, because I will take long pauses. Because I gotta see what's going on with what I'm saying. Because if I don't, it's not like I'm just talking. And there's plenty of people that just talk. They don't hear themselves, and they say, kids say the darndest things. But I was contemplating expectation, and it made me think, what is it? What is expectation? Sit with that. Our habitual pattern is to immediately try to answer something. Immediately begin to try to find what it's not, and to try to describe it by talking around it. But what I'm asking you is to sit with it. See for yourself what expectation is. What is expectation? Don't look for a Webster definition or an Oxford definition. That's not important. That's meaningless. That is just words. What is expectation in your living experience? What is expectation? Me and a friend were talking about the loose sort of expectation that we hold. For those of us that drive, we don't, I say loose because for those of us that drive, we don't set expectations the moment we crank up our car and pull out of the driveway or pull out of the parking deck or whatever it is. We don't set expectations, right? We don't have real intentional things that we set out with the moment we start driving. Well, what does happen is we're driving along and somebody does something that we're not expecting, or traffic happens when we're where we're not expecting. And so then our time becomes an unexpected interval that sort of, and it creates anxiety. It creates frustration and anger. And so retroactively we say, well, I should have planned, I should have expected, I should have pulled up the GPS to find the best route, I should have left earlier, I should have left later. I don't know. Those are all the things that expectation kind of makes. But those actions are not expectation in and of itself. Those responses, anger, the anxiety, those responses, those reactions, not responses, reactions, words are important. Those reactions are not expectation. Those are branches of, but I'm interested in the root. What is expectation? If you play video games, you boot up the game to, play with your friends, and, some of your friends are there, but not the ones you really wanted to play with. And so you get into, let's say, a multiplayer game, and you're playing your shoot 'em up or whatever, and you are losing, and you become, they're cheating. The other team is cheating. That guy he's doing stuff that should be impossible. It's not. What is that? What are we fighting with in that instant? What are we fighting with in traffic that's creating anxiety? To the extreme degree, we're on a plane and suddenly the alarms start going. There's this crazy turbulence, and the masks drop down out of the ceiling. What are we doing? What do we do? Maybe some of us grip our seats and we just sit back. We don't know what to do. Some of us reach over to the person next to us and just start freaking out, telling them about where you're supposed to be, how this isn't supposed to happen. Maybe some of us start trying to frantically call our loved ones and they're not picking up. You stupid fucking pick up. Maybe some of us are looking, we suddenly try to reach into the compartments to grab, I don't know, our phone or some other thing that we think is important. Maybe some of us run to the restroom because this is crazy and I'm about to shit myself. I don't know. But all of these reactions happen out of expectation. And you might be saying to yourself, Alex, you're giving all this time to, negative stuff that comes with expectation. But expectation, another word for it, hope. Expectation and socially, the word faith also falls into this thing of expectation, belief, expectation. Well, Alex, you're painting a negative picture on expectation. Okay. I have the expectation that this live show I'm about to step on stage as a musician. And I fully expect this live show. I fully expect nobody to turn up. In fact, let's make it wholly real right now. I have an expectation. Me, Alex does. The speaker, this dude, this motherfucker right here, has a full expectation that nobody will show up to this live situation. I have full expectation that nobody is going to show up here. What happens when somebody does? Oh, I'm elated. Oh my God, somebody came. Oh, what? Wow. Oh, I knew, I expected nobody to. But wait a minute. Let's take a step back. If I fully expect nothing to come, I expect, listen to what I'm saying, I believe nobody will listen to what I'm saying. Nobody will watch this video. Nobody will care. It won't connect with anybody. Do I even make the video? Or does it stop there with my mental capacity of nobody will? Nobody. Again, words matter. But again, you might be saying, Alex, you're still painting this thing negatively. Okay. Let me look at expectation in a positive light. I expect this video will do great, and let's move into imaginary future, because the future is always imaginary. Let's move into imaginary future, and it does. It gets 10,000 views, and I'm suddenly off of one video. I'm elated. I'm ecstatic. I don't know what to do with all this sudden whoa. YouTube is sending me whatever, people are sending me, and all of this and whatever. Was expectation ever necessary for the video to do well or poorly? Does it do more harm to hold expectation as positive when the likely outcome is neutral or negative? I don't think there can be a negative outcome. But do you understand what I mean? Maybe not. Maybe not. If you don't understand, probably you're going to leave this video and go on about your life and whatever. Don't recommend this channel. I don't know. If you do understand, ride with me just a little bit longer. I hold no expectation for this video. Why are you doing it then? Curiosity. You can't be curious without expectation. Some of you will probably say, you think that's the case. Some of y'all might say, oh well, hold on now, you might be onto something. For those of you that don't understand what I mean and refuse to look at it for yourself, first take the time. First take the time. What is expectation? And can you take action without it? Let's tackle the first thing. What is expectation really? As I look at it, and I won't give you any metaphors or similes, as I look at it, really, expectation right now, if I look at what expectations I have, that I hold within myself, expectation is comparison, judgment, the dissemination of value, good and bad. Take a moment and think. Take some time and see if that correlates with your experience. I won't jump cut, because I really want you to take your time. Take your time with it. It's okay to take time. You don't know how much you've got, and so rushing is silly. Take your time. I'm new to this whole streaming thing. I think I should have been streaming also on TikTok or something.
So my fiance just blocked me on.
Okay. I'm actually gonna take my time while you take your time with the question, and maybe you've come up with some answers. See about it. Don't think about. And I know that's confusing. Because what's the difference between seeing and thinking? When I have to think about a thing, what am I doing? Am I looking at it as it is? Or am I comparing it? Measuring it? Talking about what it's not? Defining its shape, sorta. It's wild. I can't. Can I use that? I'm finding that I'm not live now. Shame I don't just have some shit. Yeah. Yeah. So what is expectation? Expectation being sort of weird a weird thing. Expectation is very strange, very strange. We get expectation attached to our ego, and we hello. Oh no, they're not there. They saying invite them as a guest. um I shouldn't have gone live on TikTok. um Expectation is strange though. Expectation is very strange. It's we get it wrapped up into our ego, which is what causes such strong reactions. um it's what causes us to get so upset at any given moment about silly stuff. Really, really silly stuff. For instance, right now, right at this very moment, I'm looking at TikTok and I am worried about, I am giving it suddenly all this attention. I'm giving it all this attention all of a sudden about who is joining my this live talk. Somebody just popped in and dipped out. Totally disinterested. They don't care. I am sitting here watching TikTok instead of continuing this stream of thought in this very moment, worried about something, feeling like it matters, not just feeling like it matters. Not just feeling like it matters, feeling upset. Feeling upset that nobody is engaging in this TikTok live that I've told nobody about, that I haven't done on a regular basis at any given time, that I'm wholly inexperienced with. This is expectation at work. Subtly expecting that I should have some level of engagement with this thing that I've never done, that I've never set up, that I haven't established on this or this. Expectation attached to the ego. There was a point I was thinking that expectation was something like the reverse of measurement. That measurement in this way. Measurement does good going outward, but measurement inward is not good. Measurement inward is actually detrimental. Measurement inward is how we create anxiety, how we create depression, how I create problems within myself. I don't have selves. It's bad enough I got one. But it's how I create these things within myself. Expectation. Holding on to or creating expectations in order to feel validated, or in order to feel, yeah, I'll say validated, like I can be right about something, when all I need really is to be cool within myself. But I can't be cool within myself as long as I hold expectation. Because expectation, by its very in and of itself, expectation requires outward validation. Validation to come from somewhere else so that I can then appreciate and value myself based on some outside entity, some outside power. So what is what is expectation? I think expectation is the placing of value on how to say. Words are so important. So I've got to take my time with this. Expectation is the placing of value or measurement not outside but inward, turning that inward. And in the turning of measurement and value inward, I create disruption. I create problems within myself. I create my own depression. I drive my own anxieties. I make my own issues. I put fuel to the fire when it comes to my inner problems when I have expectation. And you might be saying, oh, well, you need expectation in order to operate. You need expectations in order to achieve certain goals. And I'm asking you, is that actually the case? Do you actually need expectations to do anything? What do y'all in the chat think? Is expectation necessary to take action? Is expectation necessary to achieve things? I don't think so. And as far as I can tell, expectation only makes problems. It's all fine and dandy. It's all well and good when my expectations are proven true. But that happens every now and again. It's gambling. And it's not a 50-50 chance. My expectations can be wildly out of proportion compared to reality. And so, what does, what function does holding expectation actually have in life? Hello, goodbye. What does expectation, what function does expectation actually hold? I don't know that it holds a function, really. I don't know that expectation has a function. But wait. Take your time and contemplate and see, what function does expectation have in your life? What expectation, what function does expectation hold in our lives? What is the function of expectation? Of course, measurement. You can measure distance. You can measure differences. You can measure weight, color, light, darkness. You can measure whether or not this amount of food will be enough. Measurement is very important. Measurement is useful. It's a great tool. It's fantastic. Measurement has gotten us to the computer and nuclear power, and measurement is a fantastic tool. But what happens when we turn measurement the wrong way? It's like holding a knife the wrong way. A really, really, really sharp knife. You're holding it the wrong way. You're pointing the nuke at the wrong space when we turn measurement the wrong way. It's like that. It's a tremendous power, but held wrongly, it'll fuck you up. And I think expectation is measurement turned the wrong way. And so it fucks us up. For those that just joined in the live, the question is, what function does expectation have in your life? What is the function of expectation? Surely you use it to measure the enjoyment you'll get out of something, the disappointment you'll receive in something, how much pleasure you'll get out of something. Expectation. So, is expectation actually vital? Or is it useful? Is it necessary in action? Is expectation necessary in action? Do you need it? Or is it a habitual activity that we constantly engage in? We're constantly in a cycle of expectation, disappointment, expectation, approval, yes, success, expectation, good, expectation, bad, expectation. We constantly set expectations for everything, subconsciously and consciously. We don't consciously set expectation when we get on the road to drive. But god damn it, once we hit traffic, oh, expectation rears its head ugly. Somebody cuts you off while traffic is flowing well. Expectation. Everybody should be following these rules. Why aren't you using your blinker? Why aren't you? Expectation. Somebody treats you poorly or doesn't wave back or doesn't hold the door, or somebody talks to you crazy at the restaurant. Expectation. When somebody does something that you wholly expect, oftentimes we aren't even grateful for it because we're expecting it. So expectation begins to it begins to erode our sense of gratitude even. Thank you. Expectation. Is it necessary? Is it necessary in our lives? Or is it just a habitual pattern? And can you have expectation without setting value? Can you have expectation without setting value? I don't see that you can. Again, expectation is born of measurement. Thinking is measurement. An expectation is a branch of the beautiful tool of measurement, but it's turned the wrong way. So how do we limit our self-destruction with this habitual thing that we've been using the wrong way? How do we correct the course of measurement so that it does its job necessarily without it causing us harm? Take your time, because I don't know. This is the deep question of the day. It's a question for y'all too, yeah. If you have any ideas, please drop them in the comments. How do we limit or even stop wholly this habitual pattern of pointing measurement at ourselves? Finger on the trigger. How do we stop this pattern? Sensitivity is coming to me. Sensitivity to see precisely where we invoke the habit. We have to see where the habit arises, and we have to be, because it comes fast. It comes fast. You're not angry when you get in the car, but once you hit that traffic, once that person does something weird on the road, they can't make up their mind. How do we let go of expectation so that we can deal with what is exactly as it is in front of us? I don't know. I think, and if you're waiting on an answer, I don't know that one will come, but I think on the other side of the habitual perpetuation of expectation lies real gratitude, genuine love and care, humility, peace. And clarity. Real clarity. But I don't know. I don't know. I have no idea. Thank you for joining me. For those of you that did, thank you for joining me. I really, really appreciate it. Thank you for hanging out and listening, Gabrielle. I really, really appreciate it. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, I hope No. Words are so important. This has been a powerful hour for me. And so if it touches, blesses, moves, resonates, all those for someone else, then that's beautiful also. But it has been all of that for me. Until next time, brothers and sisters, deuces.